What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your girl Empress back up in here one more again. I first want to tell you that I missed you guys so much last week. I promise you I did. Nevertheless, we are here. So if you are new here, this is Life in the Black Memoirs, where we put action to the knowledge that we share with each other. When you come into this space that we are cultivating, this community, we take what we've learned through experience, through, reading, something that I love to do, but we just don't stop there. We put action behind it because at this point, hopefully, it is common knowledge that we can read all the self-help books, we can listen to all these motivational speakers, but if we do not put action behind what we know, what's all that in our head is just sitting there. So this is Life in the Black Memoirs, where we get into it. Okay, we do the work so we can be better. As you see it in the banner going down at the bottom of your screen, I believe that this year, moving forward, that if you are doing the inner work, the work that really needs to be done, then that's what I consider to be the real sexy. If you are doing your inner work, hats off to you, because there are a lot of people who are refusing or maybe scared to walk down those corridors, to do that inner work, to start to heal, to start to be better, simply because nobody really wants to tap into the things that trigger us, that make us feel some type of way. But it needs to be understood that the more, and I've said this in previous videos, the more we resist doing that inner work, the negativity that is associated with those situations is just going to continue to persist in our lives. So it's imperative that we take the time to do the inner work, to be better, to get that true sexiness popping, right? So if you have not done so, let's go ahead and get the homework out the way. If you are new here, like I said earlier, it's your girl Empress. And welcome. Please take time to drop it in the comments that you are new here so I can be able to send you out a virtual hug and welcome you into the family. I would love to have you. We would love to have you. This is a community built with like-minded individuals, and so I just want to take the time to welcome you. And for those that are returning, you guys already know. Drop it in the comments. Drop a what it do. Let me know that you slid through to exchange some of this positive energy with me, which I just appreciate so much. As I said in my last video, and I will continue to say, for those who hit me up privately, the fact that, you vibe with what's going on here, and in some way it has helped you to move forward in life, I am so appreciative for you being here, because without you, there is no me. And this community is in need of you. So I am so appreciative that you are here. Don't forget to hit the like button so we can get in this YouTube traffic. Is for the algorithm, so we can get in the feed and to continue to attract like-minded individuals like yourself. So once again, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe, like the video, share it with someone who you feel may need to hear or could benefit about what goes on over here. Make sure that when you hit the subscribe button that you also hit the bell icon to highlight it. It will be black. That way you get notified anytime and every time that I give and produce new content. So moving forward, you already know it's Thankful Thursday, and you know what we do for Thankful Thursday, we give thanks. We give thanks to God. Why? Because we have the most precious gift, and that is the gift of life. This moment that we're sharing, because no one is guaranteed the next second, the next minute, the next hour. So hopefully when you woke up this morning, you took time to thank God. Hopefully that was the first thing off your lips. I understand getting up and going to work, and maybe, you're tired from the previous day or whatever. Shake it off, because we all have those moments where it's just like, ugh, I don't want to get up. I just want to lay here. However, laying there is not going to move you forward. Hopefully you're getting your rest. And if you're unable to sleep, videos ago, and I will continue to say, being able to get an adequate amount of rest is imperative to your body function, to your mind function, to you just going throughout your day, in a high vibrational way. So please, by all means, get your rest. Okay? Get your rest. But we are back to giving thanks. What I am thankful for, my goodness, is going to piggyback in today's topic. And when I tell you, and it's almost like it's just a broken record, but I just want to encourage you guys and inspire you guys that the more you do your inner work and the more things that you heal, you're able to create space in your mind, in your soul, and your spirits, your continence is able to be lifted. And when you're in high vibrational mode, the opportunities really are endless, because you start to see life in a different perspective. But when you aren't moving in a way in which, you have a grateful heart, or, you have that record player on repeat and it's nothing but negative energy, then that's what's going to dictate your day. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please, by all means, go over there after this video and become, a part of the family over there, because you get more over there than, this right now. It's just so imperative. It really, really is, for us to go throughout our day in a grateful, with a grateful heart. I promise you, because like I said earlier, you're able to see things in a more clearer way. So what I am thankful for is that I am continuing to crush, and I mean crush, my goals. And I am so excited for that, because not that it's something new to me, but like I said earlier, knowledge without application is pointless. So as I continue to put action behind the knowledge that I have been acquiring over all this time, I promise you, you will start to see, and for me, and I could just speak for myself, I am starting to see so many results. I promise you. And that's why I always encourage you, at least do one thing towards whatever your goals are. Move throughout your day giving thanks, because I promise you, when you harbor and move throughout your day, with that dark cloud, as I spoke about some videos ago, you aren't able to see the opportunities that are sometimes sitting right in front of you. And that's because we don't take the time to really, do our self-assessment, become self-aware, to see what we can keep and what we can discard. So as I would say, drop it in the comments. Let me know what you're grateful for. Don't give me the run in the mill. Don't give me the automated response of you're thankful for your house, car, family, blah, blah, blah. Let me know what you're really grateful for and thankful for. And I promise you, being consistent in obtaining your goals is so rewarding, and it gives you momentum to keep moving forward because it feels good to succeed. I mean, think about the time when you wanted to achieve something and you actually accomplished it. I know you felt on top of the world. And I'm telling you, the more you do your inner work, you will feel on top of the world. Now, the flip side to that is like when you wake up and you seem like everything is in alignment and is going your way, and it just seems like maybe that coworker that get on your nerves, it just seems like they press that button, and that is the opportunity to rise above that temporary situation, or that situation that will come to set you back. But I'm telling you, once you get addicted to having this feeling of, you know what, I can do this and I am doing this, you're not going to want to let anything come in between that. I promise you. You're going to get to the point where the naysayers, the negative Nancys, just the bitter Bettys, whatever, the sayings are, you're not even going to want to be around these individuals because you don't want that low vibrational aura around you. I promise you. And so when you drop that weight, it may come in the form of a job. It may come in a form of leaving certain individuals alone. But you understand that you have to drop that dead weight in order to move forward. It's like we've seen a lot of movies where, the plane might be going down and it says the only way that we can rise is that we got to dump some stuff. We got to dump some things that we don't need so we can rise above, so we can keep moving forward. You just got to do it. That's the way it is. We got to do away with old habits, negative mindsets. I'm always attending webinars, okay? Being in the room with other like-minded individuals, going to go soak up the game, and learning new things, learning new techniques in which I can apply to my life so I can soar higher. And man, I'm telling you, when I tell you the game that I received was Campbell's soup, good, it was delicious. And being able to receive that inspiration, all it did was put more gas in my tank for me to continue to stay consistent, to be disciplined in the things that are working for me. And yes, it was hard. I'm not even going to front. There was times where, I didn't want to continue doing it. But as I always say, once you're in motion, true motion, scientific law says you're going to stay in motion. So anyway, write it down in the comments what you're thankful for. I would love to read it. Whatever you're grateful for, it might spark something in someone else. So don't be afraid to write in the comments. Moving forward, it's time to check the temperature. Okay. And what I mean by check the temperature is, how's your soul doing? Have you been doing your self evaluations? Have you been doing the check-ins with yourself? Those are so important. Why? Because it gives you that gauge of where you are. Take a moment. You may not even know that, you've lived in this position of being stressed and living in anxiety so much that you don't even understand that your body, your muscles and things are tense. You're living in a state in which you can call upon diseases, meaning that your immune system is low simply because your continence is low. That is one thing I'm going to have to write down the book. I have the book at home, but it is proven. And this is something that we really don't talk about, is that the things that we have been through in our life, if we do not take time to heal those things, to heal our soul, do the inner work. All that negativity is circulating throughout our body. If you have, constant pain somewhere, could that be associated with anxiety that you haven't really taken time to unpack? Could it be that, you're still harboring feelings from things that happened 10 years ago, 5 years ago, an hour ago, yesterday, last night, whatever? You know, how is your soul doing? Because the health of your soul is going to be a true determinant of how far you are able to go. Plain and simple. So I'm not going to hold it. Take yourself evaluations at this moment. See where you are. If you are in a high vibrational bracket, congratulations. And I want to say congratulations because I know that takes work. It's not easy because we are so bombarded, especially like, I don't know if you've known this, you've been following me, but I don't watch the news. And a lot of people, what? You don't watch the news? Why not? Don't you need to know? Trust me. By the time I get to work, my associates, my friends, they all let me know what's going on. However, the one common denominator is it's like 99% negative. It's hardly any good news out there. And so that was one of the reasons why I got out of my comfort zone to create this space so we can have a positive exchange of energy, because negativity is running rampant. And if we're not comfortable, or not comfortable, excuse me, if we're not aware, if we're not cognitive of what's really going on, we then take on the weight of the world, take on the weight of other people. And now we are carrying this extra weight that doesn't even belong to us. And I'm not saying to disregard what's going on in the world, because hello, we're here, we live on earth. We can't be, that far gone living under a rock where we don't know nothing. But we have to know what to take in and what to discard, because how our life is going to move, how our day is going to continue, it is going to rely on what's going on up here. What are you feeding yourself? So with that being said, let's segue into today's topic. And I'm sure you saw the title of today's video. And so, let's just be clear, because clarity is key. How often do I say it's just, as I keep reiterating, being self-aware, being conscious about what we tell ourselves, the friends that we are keeping, that we're fighting to keep, knowing that they're toxic to us. They don't bring anything but drama. That relationship that is just riddled with arguments or is one-sided. One person is trying and the other person is not trying. All that stuff is toxic. And until we really be honest with ourselves, really get to the point where we are clear about who we are, what we want to accomplish in life, we're going to continue to associate ourselves with things that really are not benefiting us. Sure, it may look good for the moment, but if you sit with yourself, when at night before you go to sleep and you do an overview of your day, really, what have you done? Who have you surrounded yourself with? What have you ingested, physically, from the food you consume, what you listen to, who you've been listening to? It all plays a part. It's like a car. Even little screws, they mean something to some aspect of the car. So everything that we do, everything that we don't do is going to directly affect us some way. So it is imperative that we get clear on how we want to live our life, who we would like to be around. I'm sure if you progressing and you're trying to bring friends and family and whatever have you with you, and they're not in alignment with your path, that's dead weight. Let's just be clear. Let's be honest about it. Even childhood friends or whatever, at some point, you really have to make the hard decisions and say, you know what? At this juncture in my life, this relationship, be it romantic, interpersonal, whatever, this job, this location is just not working for me. It's not benefiting me. But until we get clear on those things, we are just, we're that hamster continuing to turn that wheel. We're call ourselves real busy, but not busy doing the inner work. We look like we're busy, but is not propelling us to the next level in our lives. And so we're just on this merry-go-round. And yeah, you can push it faster and faster and faster, but you're not going nowhere. So let's just be clear. Once again, I got a book here. It is The Daily Stoic. It's 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living. Is by Ryan Holiday. If you don't know about this book, if you don't know about the Stoics, please, by all means, get this book. It is short reads every day of the year. That's why it's 366. It's 365. The 6 comes from that extra day for leap year, in case you don't know. So I'm going to quickly read June 29th, which coincides with the topic of this video. So for June 29th, it says, no excuses. It is possible to curb your arrogance, to overcome pleasure and pain, to rise above your ambition, and not to be angry with stupid and ungrateful people. Yes, even to care for them. That's by Marcus Aurelius, the Meditations 8.8. If you're up on game with the Stoics, then you'll understand that. But this is the little excerpt here. I was just born this way. I never learned anything different. My parents set a terrible example. Everyone does it. What are these? Excuses that people use to justify staying as they are instead of striving to become better. Of course, it's possible to curb our arrogance, control our anger, and be a caring person. How do you think others do it? Certainly, their parents weren't perfect. They didn't come out of the womb incapable of ego or immune to temptation. They worked on it. They made it a priority. They solved it like they would solve any other problem by dedicating themselves to finding a solution, making incremental progress until they did. They became who they are, just like you can. So these are daily, powerful lessons, things that you can dwell on throughout the day. And when I read that, I said, you know what? This is what I've been saying. People, life is going to serve all of us at some point or another in our lives. We're going to have to all deal with things that we would rather not. However, if you stay in those situations, in that feeling, in those emotions that those situations put you in, you find yourself, like the book said, now you're making excuses. Now, because you've now allowed those past situations, those emotions to now dictate your life. You're not living your life. You're allowing those emotions, those things, those people to now dictate how you move throughout life. And now you're making excuses on why you're not moving forward, why you're not becoming better. And that's because you're not doing the inner work. As the book said, they worked on it. Like I said earlier, being in a high vibrational mode, it takes work. You have to be intentional with what you do until it becomes second nature. But even like I said earlier, you're having a good day and then something to happen, some negative Nancy will come and try to, knock you off of your upswing. And so you have to be able to be in a position to be able to discern, hey, I'm not going to allow that to dictate. I was telling one of my friends the other day, and it's something that we all have to understand. We can't be everything to everybody. And I am getting to the point, and if you made it to this portion of the video, this is the hashtag that I want you to put down in the comment section. It is hashtag reclaiming myself. And as simple as that may sound, do you really know who you are right now? Have you developed this way of living of just making excuses? Oh, I could have done this, but I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, or I don't come from money, so I'm not going to be able to do this. Listen, all that right there, excuses, they say, are like a-holes. Everybody has one. However, I don't want to see yours. Okay? I don't. Just as well as you don't want to see mine. So with that being said, let's just be clear. If you don't do the work, how do you think that you're going to move forward? If you don't go to work and clock in and do what you signed on the dotted line to do, how you think you're going to get paid? If you feel as though you deserve to live a certain way, how and that's the thing. That's the most dangerous thing nowadays in this world that we live in with social media. Everybody is always just posting the good things because they want to show the masses, oh, this is how I'm getting it. They never show you, what's really going on behind the scenes. You have to get to the point where you just got to knock off the shenanigans. Let's just be clear. You have to be honest with yourself, okay? If you're not moving in a way that you deserve to be moving, then you're going to have to do something different. Period, point blank. There's no way around it. I know for me, I am hashtag reclaiming myself. And why I say that is because over life, things happen and we're always adjusting. And sometimes that adjustment is not for the better. We find ourselves, how I want to say, find ourselves, cowering down, where you used to be this outspoken individual. Life has now served you to the point where we don't even know you exist. And I'm not saying that you have to go out and, have a neon light on and say, hey, look at me. But if we continue to allow life to hammer us down, we lose who we really are. Do you know who you really are right now? Were you, before all these situations placed you in this position that you are now, a person that's always giving an excuse? Maybe you played a blame game, like it said in the book. Oh, it was because my parents, they didn't raise me, or I lived in this neighborhood. Please save it. Let's just be clear. There are people making it out of the hood, if so to speak. There are people who are dealing with ailments and disabilities, but they're still finding it within themselves, to live a life that they are pleased with to the best of their ability. Are you living the better version of yourself? Are you doing the things? Are you doing the inner work? The book said it takes work. There's no way around it. You're only going to get out what you put in. So if you're not putting in the work, then don't sit there and complain. Though, you're on the outside of the world and you're saying, oh, well, it's never going to happen for me. It can, if you get out of that mindset. Let's just be clear. There's no way around it. Let me get close. Understand this. No one's coming to save you, okay? No one. No one is obligated to save you, okay? It's up to you. That's it. Let's just be clear. Now, fortunately, if you do have somebody who is willing, or you have a soul tribe, a community, a group of friends or whatever, that you guys are all in alignment and you guys are really working together, building each other up. If you have that type of environment, if you have those type of friends and you guys are really striving to be better, you guys don't use your spare time of just rehashing all the negative things that happen throughout the day. Sure, talk about those things, but after you're done talking about those things, what's next? What's the solution? I was talking to a good friend of mine today, and it was just so refreshing to hear her talk about that she's cutting out the dead weight. And it just gets to a point where, if people are looking at me negative, or, oh, she's acting like a bee or whatever. No, this is me living my life. This is me #reclaiming who I was, simply because, not saying that we don't care about people that are around us, but if you are a person with a big heart, we often, and I can speak for myself, get taken for granted because, we like to cultivate those good environments. Why? Because when you're in a good environment, good things happen. That's just it. And so you find yourself, you become out of alignment when you continue to give and you're not getting that reciprocity. And then, years later, or however, hopefully not years later, you find yourself being drained and you don't even know why you're being drained. And it's because you're around vampires, emotional vampires. They just want to, take everything from you, but they don't want to make any deposits. How can you get any money out of the bank if you don't make any deposits? It just doesn't make any sense. So let's just be clear. If you want something out of life, you got to put in, you got to put in, you got to put in. It's like the lottery. You got to pay to play. Period, point blank. It's that transaction. So you have to get up. You have to get yourself in that mindset. You have to do those things that is going to put you in a position to put you on that higher vibration, so you can attract those things that are going to help in the long run, that are going to be beneficial, so you can, attract like-minded individuals. Understand this. If the environment you find yourself in is draining you, how did you get in that environment? These are things that I had to sit down and think about myself. And the environments in which I found myself, being drained, or, the interactions were one-sided and the reciprocity wasn't there. I had to look back and say, you know what? I contributed to receiving unfair, if you want to call it, or lopsided treatment. I allowed that to happen. Why? Because I was in a low vibration. And so not receiving reciprocity is low vibrational. And so how did I find myself in that environment? That's because I was emitting that. That was my aura. So like a moth to a flame, if I'm broken, if I'm feeling sad, misery loves company, then I get with another individual or a group of individuals, or stay around family members that's all we do is talk about the oh woe is me, and how, we can't move forward in life because, it's always somebody else's fault because we don't want to do the work. So let's just be clear. If you don't do the inner work, what do you really expect for yourself? Get clear with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Until you honestly do that, you're going to stay on that hamster wheel. And I don't care. You can be running at 100 miles per hour. You're not going to go anywhere. And then the more you turn that wheel, the more regret you're going to have, and then you just sit in that negativeness. Negativeness? That's not even a word. That negativity. You sit in it and sit in it and sit in it. Nobody wants to be around you. So then what? And then, then you get mad at people from walking away from you. How is that? No, it just throws me. I don't know who would sit somewhere where it's not inviting. I know I don't. I throw up the deuces. I get out of there simply because I know that is not a good place for me. And guess what? It's not a good place for you. It's not healthy. It's not beneficial. So when you see these things coming, until you get clear, you're not even really going to understand what type of environment you're sitting in. You're not going to be able to say, you know what, I can't be in this environment because blah, 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 blah. If you're sitting in that lower vibrational seat, then lower vibrational things are going to continue to happen. And then you're going to be living this life by default. Like I said earlier, who were you before these things? Who were you? You're still giving that situation power. Oh my goodness. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get out of here. I was listening to a YouTube content creator that I follow, and she had a guest on, and she said something so profound. I literally had to pull over. Literally. Okay. Put the car in park. They were talking about, healing your inner child wounds, things that happened to you in the past that you're still dragging. And the lady's name was Andrea, and she said these words, and I'm telling you, I was like, drop mic. Seriously. She said so many people today are loyal to their pain. I'm going to let that marinate. And it's so simple. But when you think about it, everything that I have said up to this point, if you're not in a high vibrational mode and you're not thinking clearly, you're sitting on that hamster wheel, you're on that merry-go-round, you're constantly having that negative, low vibrational talk to yourself, you are loyal to your pain. You're loyal to it. And I'm like, this is what's wrong. This is a part of what's wrong. The reason why we can't see the sunshine is because we're loyal to the past. We're loyal to the pain that was we were subjected to. We're loyal still to those words that somebody said to us that made us feel some type of way. I am coming to the position in my life, and I'm there, because trust me, I'm there. Because trust me, hashtag reclaiming myself is in working order. When people do things and say things to you, and especially when you're like, hey, where did that come from? You have to understand that that's just a reflection of how they're feeling on the inside. It has nothing to do with you unless you're contributed to that toxicity. Example, you're in a relationship, like I was saying earlier, and your partner or however, they're always the one doing, and you're not reciprocating. You're the taker, and you just living off the giver. You low vibrational. But have you always been that way? Where did that come from? You have allowed something to dictate how you move today. You continue to be loyal to that pain. So how can you really be loyal to yourself and saying you want to be better when you are still allowing you still loyal to that? You done broke up with that individual, but guess what? You're still attached. You're still loyal to them because you're missing out on the beauty of the relationship that you have now, be it romantic, interpersonal, whatever. You're missing out on the beauty of that simply because you loyal to that pain. People, we gotta knock it off. Let's just be clear. You cannot move forward effectively still being loyal to your pain. You got to take this time right now to say enough is enough. Do that inner work. We all know what work needs to be done in our life. When you gonna do it? It's like that Divide. Was it the Divide commercial years and years ago? You sitting on the couch, you ain't doing nothing. Make the phone call. What are you doing? How much longer are you going to be loyal to your pain? How much longer are you going to be loyal to these excuses? How much longer are you going to prevent you effectively moving to your future, to your destiny? How much longer? Let's just be clear. Until you get honest clarity with yourself and get to a point where you really want to do the work, to be committed to the process, being disciplined to be better, understand this. The things that you want is just going to continue to be a wish. It's going to be a dream. Why? Because you're not putting any action behind doing the work that is necessary to clear the debris, to clear out your soul. So you can, if imagine your soul like a box. If you continue to pack it with negativity, where is the room for anything positive? Where? Let's just be clear. You're going to have to do the work one way or another, because life is going to continue to throw boulders at you until you sit down with yourself and get clear on how you need to move next. And I'm sure everybody has heard this saying, make your next move your best move. The only way your next move is going to be your best move is you getting clear, you getting honest. And yeah, it's going to take some work, some diligence, some consistency, some perseverance. But I'm telling you, I am on this road of doing the inner work. And I'm telling you, I'm not void of the negativity, because trust me, just this week, boy, oh boy, I had to go and ground myself because I was able to see the negativity and I was able to respond effectively. But when you're not clear, your responses are going to be reactions, and they're not going to be beneficial. They're going to just continue to put you in a negative space. So please, I implore you. I'm only here for inspiration. I'm doing my work. And I just want to let you know that the more you do your inner work, you're going to see things differently. If your situation is not changing, change how you see that situation, and then things will start to change. It all starts here. Do away with those excuses. Do away with all these things that is not going to benefit you in the long run. Let's just be clear. It's going to take you to get active in you, for you. That's just it. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm sending out encouragement. Shout out to everyone that is going through things. If you're doing the inner work and you come to a situation where, it's put you in a real uncomfortable spot, I'm sending you a virtual hug. Why? Because I've been there. It's uncomfortable. But let me tell you, keep going. Keep ironing out that situation. Take the lesson, but do away with that emotion that keeps you loyal to that pain. I know if it's been some time, that pain has become a part of you, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can start being loyal to the better, the higher vibrational aspect of yourself. But how can you see that unless you get clear? Clarity is key. So I encourage you, get clear with yourself. Be severely honest with yourself so you can attract that which you deserve. But it all starts in your mind so you can put out into the universe that vibration that is going to bring to you, cultivate that environment. Let's just be clear. So with that being said, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, become a part of this fantastic community. I would love to have you. We would love to have you. And by all means, do the inner work. I promise you, it's going to set you so much freer. The truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. Okay? That way you're able to cultivate organic, authentic relationships. Because once you're doing the work, you're going to attract like-minded individuals, and it's going to feel so good. I promise you. Then you'll really be on the right path to moving forward effectively. Okay? So let's just be clear that it takes you to do the work. All right? Life is a movement. Go ahead and get in this traffic. It's going to be that much better. I promise you. All right? Share, like, comment, subscribe. Can't wait to hear about the work that we all are doing. And until then, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.